what the hell? Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine and welcome to a new review for Banshee. Yeah. This week's episode was called Armies of One. Let's talk about it. First, some quick thoughts. Really enjoyed the opening because it sort of launches the second part of the season with Hood reflecting a little bit on his life, that and everything that happened before, and now we're ready to move on to the rest of the season. You can also see a similar feel to last week's episode in this episode because it was directed by the same director, Babak Najafi, while still returning to the Banshee feel we've come to know. So that was kind of nice. What was anybody else thinking when those guys were messing with the car at the gas station? Like, oh, don't do it, or you will regret it so badly. Yes, you did regret it. Yeah. And speaking of the gas station, how kick-ass was that scene? Holy crap. I wish he had been a nicer guy in the story because it would have been kind of nice for him to stick around. But it was sort of a, I got a like Transporter meets Strike Back feel to it. That's kind of what it felt like. And I'll admit I had to look away a few times because that was just too much, but pretty kick-ass. And finally, did anybody wonder if Jason's new name was in fact Marion, as Job promised he would name him? I almost wish we had seen what the name was because I don't think we saw it, or if we did then I missed it and I'm sorry, but I was like, oh, it would have been funny to throw in a line like, Marion, come on, but I guess he's not gonna need those anymore, so. And now I want to delve into larger storylines within the episode, and that would be the Carrie, Gordon, and the kids storyline. So it looks like Gordon is investigating Hood, and Brock is doing it for him, or feeding him information, and that means also Brock is now getting very suspicious of Hood, which I guess he has reasons to, because he's right. But it's worrisome for us because we're like, oh no, don't find out who he is, oh my god. You know, I'm thinking that Brock is gonna figure out something. And speaking of Gordon, he's kind of a bad father right now. He just can't deal with what happened, and I'm like, you don't seem like a very stable person to be around the kids. Actually, Carrie is way more stable than you are, so maybe you should let her take care of them because I'm a little worried about them. Speaking of Carrie, oh, how cute was that scene when she goes to see Max and he's just so excited to see her. Oh. And then on top of that, then you get the scene with Dana who comes and sees her at the diner, and they, I think it looks like they were gonna have a heart-to-heart, or at least she's starting to open up to her mom, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. So yeah, sweet moments. There's hope for them. Fingers crossed. And finally, onto the really exciting part of this episode, and that would be the Hood and Jason storyline. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Can you tell I liked it? Oh my god! Let's talk about getting your head chopped off by a freaking truck. What was that? Oh my god! All I could think when I was watching that, I'm like, oh, here's Hood getting his ass kicked again. You know, that's cool. And then they're fighting in the middle of the trucks coming on their way, and he's like, oh, I can use this to my advantage. Let me just hold you up for a second so then the truck can freaking cut off your head. What is that? How, like, I don't know. I knew that Banshee did some crazy ass stuff, but I did not expect a head being chopped off by a truck. Just kind of, yeah, that's gonna stay with me for a while. Yeah. And then we go to Jason, who thinks that Rebecca is worth the trouble he would get in, but that's because he doesn't know that she's Proctor's niece, and he doesn't know who Proctor is. He doesn't, yeah. He might have wanted to look into it because, wow, again, he's, yeah. I already thought this whole relationship was really messed up between Proctor and Rebecca. It's just so weird, but I like it, but it's so weird. And now I think it's even weirder because, I mean, he freaking killed this guy just for, I guess, sleeping with her? I'm just like, what is happening? Such a weird and complicated, like, relationship. I don't even know how to describe it. But yet I find it so fascinating. Is that wrong? And then poor Jason is dead. And that leads to the scene with Clay cleaning up the hotel room, which is kind of a parallel with last week's episode where Carrie turns on the light in her hotel room, but it's a lot more peaceful and maybe more sad, or just she's alone. In this case, the lights turn on so that he can clean up the mess. He's very meticulous about this. I mean, you're kind of watching this and you're like, you've done this a lot, haven't you? Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with you. Did I mention that I love Clay? He never says anything, yet he's probably one of my favorite characters in the show. I'm just like, oh, Clay, yay. Still a pretty awesome scene. Except that he forgot the freaking watch. It's in the details, people. It's the details that will get you. And I think this detail might come and haunt him or play a part later on this season, because you know Hood will find that watch eventually. And finally, the biggest revelation of it all. The freaking diamonds are fake. Yeah, I'm just so upset right now for Hood that I'm not even gonna say anything. So I'm guessing a confrontation with Rabbit is inevitable by the end of the season, but I gotta say, I did not see the diamond twist coming at all. I applaud the writers for this one because that was a good one. It was a good one. Mind blown, awesome episode, awesome fight scenes, head getting chopped off. I mean, what more do we need? What more could we want out of Banshee? So yeah, those are all my thoughts for this week's episode. But of course, I always want to hear from you guys, so let me know what you thought of the episode, and yeah, in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Happy Cool so you don't miss any of my Banshee reviews. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! Happy dance!